I don't think he even knows what he want to do next. So, I just want to say that I'm ready for it. I'm here for it, and I think I can do much better than last time, and I think I can beat him.
This is Jonathan Agger, fifth Pro Boxing Fans, joined by Otto Wallin here in New York, your hometown now. Just tell the fans first of all how long you've been here and why you chose to come to New York.
I was training in Denmark when I first turned pro with Sauerland actually, and they had this American trainer over there, Joey Gamache, that was training guys in Denmark. So I teamed up with him, with Joey. And then after we had been there for about 4 years, Joey decided to move back to the US and New York. So I followed him here, and that was in 2017. So now I've been here since 2017, so 6 years. Actually, on the 6th, I think that was yesterday. That was the anniversary, so 6 years now.
So what would you say the biggest difference is between living and training here compared to Sweden, Denmark, or anywhere else you've lived?
I would say that boxing is much bigger, so we have more people and more boxers, of course, here. So a lot more heavyweights to spar with. Boxing is much bigger. You have big fights going on in New York City, so that's really nice. And it just feels like boxing is bigger here, and it just makes a lot of sense to be here if you're a boxer. Because in Sweden, we have some boxing, of course, but I would always struggle with sparring. Same when I was living in Denmark. I had a couple of cruiserweights that would spar a lot, but no real heavyweights. So that's been a big change for me when I came here, that I would get good heavyweight sparring with different top guys, actually. Adam Kovnatsky, Big Baby Miller sparred before, Zhang, they just beat Joyce, guys like that. So that's been really good.
So obviously, before we get into your career, this weekend, big fight at MSG. Taylor against Lopez. How do you see the fight going?
I think that's a really good fight. I mean, I see it as a 50-50 fight. It's hard to know. Taylor's been out for a while. I think his last fight was against Cadwell, right? And I watched that fight. I thought it was a close fight, but I said at the end, I felt like Taylor won it. And then I realized that everybody saw it differently. But I felt like Taylor pulled it off at the end, and he was the champion, so I felt that. And then Lopez, had a great win with Lomachenko, and then he came back, got beat by Kambosos, fought Sandor Martin. I went to that fight at MSG, and honestly, that fight, it wasn't a great fight, but I think that Lopez was really trying to make the fight, and I felt like Martin was just running and didn't really want to fight. So I felt like he was just surviving the whole fight, and that's how I watched it in the arena. And then at the end, I realized that everybody thought that Martin won. So I felt like Lopez won that fight just because he was trying to make the fight. But I think this fight coming up, probably a 50-50 fight, it's hard to know really what's going to happen. It's hard to pick a winner there.
See what happens on Saturday. Also, a lot of talk with the heavyweights. But what's been going on with you? Because you haven't fought since, I believe, January. You had a fight. So what's the situation been? We're in June at the moment.
Yeah, I'm hoping to fight late summer. That's where it's at right now.
Is there anything sort of you can tell us opponent-wise, or is your team sort of working on that?
No, I can't really say anything right now. My situation is a little bit tricky right now, but I'm hoping to fight at the end of the summer.
Okay, we'll look forward to hearing about that soon. I have to ask you though, Tyson Fury is not got an opponent right now. You've always said to me and other reporters that you want that rematch. I know you've said it in the past and the fight's not happened and stuff, but I'm guessing you'd jump at the chance if that became available. And do you have a message for Fury?
I would. I mean, I would love that rematch. I think I can do better than what I did the first time. I felt like I've improved since then. I've become smarter, and I've been in there with him for 12 rounds already, so I know what I can do better. My message to him would be, I don't think that anybody can say anything to him and just, try to make him take a fight or whatnot. He just does what his mind tells him what to do, and I don't think he even knows what he want to do next. So, I just want to say that I'm ready for it. I'm here for it, and I think I can do much better than last time, and I think I can beat him.
I mean, Eddie Hearn today was saying that at the moment Fury's in kind of no man's land, with no real options. He doesn't think he's going to take the fight against Usyk in Saudi. Would you agree with that?
Well, it's strange to me. I mean, he beat Chisora in December?
Yeah.
And now it's already June. And I mean, he should have had a fight already. It's strange to me that he's the heavyweight champion. He should stay active, defend his belt. And he should have really tried to make that Usyk fight. To me, it seemed like he didn't want it. That's just looking in from the outside. I don't know the exact specifics, but it seems like he was just playing around, and Usyk got tired of it and went his own way. And now he's going to fight Dubois. Fury still doesn't have a fight. And he's saying that he's trying to fight everyone. But I don't know about the other guys, but like I just said, I'm here for him, and I'm waiting for him, and I would love that fight.
Another fight that's been talked about, a rematch between Joshua and Dillian Whyte. Eddie Hearn made an offer earlier this week to Whyte. Is that a fight that interests you? Obviously, Joshua won the first fight by knockout 8 years ago.
I mean, does it interest me? A little bit. I would watch it because it's, Joshua and Whyte, and could be future opponents for me. But I think that Whyte is at the end of his career now, and I think that Joshua is going to knock him out again. I think that Whyte is just a good style for him, and I think that Whyte will allow Joshua to look good again.
Dillian Whyte is obviously a fight that was meant to happen with you. Do you think you will cross paths with him at some point before both of you end your careers? I
would hope to. He's got 2 decision wins over me from the amateurs. So yeah, he does. So I would like to avenge that, and third time it's a charm. So
yeah. Okay, so hopefully that'll happen. You mentioned you sparring with Zhang. First of all, what did you make of the fight with Joe Joyce? Because in the UK, everyone was shocked that that happened. But were you as shocked as everyone else?
I was. I mean, I know that Zhang is a good fighter and big puncher, and it's a southpaw. He's tricky. So I felt like that it could happen, but I didn't think it was going to happen. I thought that Joyce was going to break him down and be able to take his shots and just put it on him. But I think that Zhang did really well and surprised me, and just kept hitting him. And it wasn't a good night for Joyce. And if they're going to do a rematch, I would be surprised if there would be a different result.
What would Joyce have to do differently?
Well, everybody's talking about him putting on more weight again because he came in light for that fight. But honestly, it might work, it might not work, because I feel like Joyce, he needs to be able to move and to be able to get out of range, not to be heavier and just sit there. So I think that, probably keep his weight off. I don't think it was the weight that did it. It was just he was in with a good fighter, a big puncher, and if you don't have decent defense to take away those shots, that's something's going to happen. He might bust your eye, you get hurt, knocked out. So I think that happens when you don't have defense and you're in with a big puncher.
And then Oleksandr Usyk's going to defend his titles against Daniel Dubois in the summer. How do you see that fight going? Obviously, Usyk's going to be a big favourite going into that fight, but how do you reckon it's going to play out?
It might be interesting for a few rounds. I think, like you said, that Usyk would be a big favourite. But Dubois, he's a big heavyweight, a big puncher. So we'll see. We got to remember that Usyk, he didn't look great in his first 2 fights at heavyweight against Chisora and Witherspoon. So he looked very good with Joshua, but it's all about styles. So we see if Dubois can find him. He might be too slow to find him, really. But if he does, we'll see how Usyk takes it.
And then just final fight, I'm sure you might be there, travel across the coast for Spence Crawford late in the summer. Who do you think wins that fight?
I think it's a great fight. It's really hard to pick a winner there too. I think that Crawford is a really good fighter. He switches and he's tricky, and Spence just a solid guy that comes forward, really steady pace, steady jab, good body punching, and everything. He just breaks people down. So I think it's going to be a really good fight, and I'm having a really hard time to pick a winner, to be honest.
If someone had to give you like your last quarter or whatever the currency is here, who would you put it on?
Well, if I have to, I think I go with Spence.
Okay.
It's just I'm gonna have to watch their last fights again to really see, but that's really my thought right now.
And then just final question, just away from boxing, Zlatan Ibrahimovic retired earlier this week. We're just talking about it a bit off camera, but just wanted to know sort of, the impacts he's had on Swedish sport, and did it inspire you at all to get into professional sport?
I think definitely it inspired me and a bunch of other kids in Sweden, because Zlatan, he came from a tough neighborhood, he had a tough background, and he really made so much of what he had, and he said that he would always practice, he has tried to be the best, and he really, I mean, look at his career, it's been amazing, and to come from nothing to achieve that, become one of the best footballers in the world, is just huge. I think that for me, I looked up to him a lot, and just the fact that he showed that he's able to do it and to come out of Sweden and become a big star and become a professional athlete and do well. I think he's inspired me and other kids so much. And I read his book and went deep when it came out of 10 years ago maybe, and it was really, really, really good. I can recommend it for anyone.
Also, appreciate you giving me some of your time here. Just tell everyone where to follow you on social media.
Yeah, it's just my name, Otto Wallin, on Instagram and different platforms.
There you go. Also, appreciate it, and we'll look forward to hearing some fight news hopefully soon.
Thank you.